on this computer. Hello and welcome everyone. Glad to have you with me today. And for those of you who join us as the recording, welcome. And first thing I'm going to do is just go ahead into the stress relief part so that I have found that I can't learn, I can't listen, I can't sit still if I don't just immediately go into the calming routine when I'm in a class setting. So let's go ahead and just get comfortable. You could be sitting, you can be lying down, and I will be moving energy from the bottom of your feet, where the ball of your foot starts to meet the arch is the beginning of the kidney meridian. And just letting any fear paralysis that's come up from the week begin to drain away. And you can help in this process too by imagining a golden grounding cord going down to the center of the earth. And as you go down to the center of the earth with that energy, it's heading into a pool of energy to be cleansed by the earth, and then imagining the backside of that grounding cord can draw up fresh, recharged energy from the earth and come back to the spine to be distributed through your body. Just noticing that perhaps now your body is starting to relax as that excess charge is being removed. It's like we go around in life and sometimes you could call us, set in America to go into a plug that's got 110 volts, and something happens during the day and suddenly it feels like we accidentally plugged into 220, right? And that feeling can stay with us unless we know these kinds of techniques. And I'll just describe that. So if you have a friend or family member that's trusted who could stand at the base of your feet while you're either lying on a massage table or a couch or similar, just have them hold that point and imagine that they are sending that energy from their hands where it makes contact with you, that they have a bubble around them protecting them, and that energy can just go straight down to that pool at the core of the earth to be discharged. And then bringing up fresh energy to be distributed as well for you at that same spot, for your bubble to be energized. Just the right frequency, just the right amount. Great. And so I was just sort of killing time while feeling for the field to balance out. And that feels very nice and balanced right now. So that's great. So go ahead and take a deep breath in and let that go. Great. So next we are going to move on to what I'm going to be doing is holding the energy points. It's called the emotional stress release with the left hand, which is about an inch above your eyebrows. And here with the right hand is going to be going at about a half an inch or inch below your collarbones. So that's what you could do on your own. I'm going to be doing it for you. You can just relax, or you can practice. It's up to you. But what I'm envisioning is that for each of us, that a golden grounding cord is heading down to the center of the earth. And that, again, any excess energy being held in an emotional way is being moved down towards that core of the earth and discharged, and that the backside can come with fresh energy to replenish you. In the Chinese version of things, this, they call it qi, and that energy, if it has been blocked, it becomes stagnant. So we want to flow. But when we reject our feelings, it stops the natural movement, and we're taught to block our emotions all the time. So this is something that's the human condition at this point. We're just sending all of that love. We're learning how to get a partnership going, to get an ally from within. And again, I'm just waiting for the pulses to even out, and they are evening out very nicely now. So take a deep breath in and let that go. Great. Perfect. Alrighty, so welcome to those who are joining us. And let's perhaps those of you who want to be renamed can go ahead and do that to just your first name if you would prefer. Alrighty, so now we've done 2 of the 3 steps towards having a very calm morning going on. And this is the 3rd step of calming that we're going to do. I'm going to teach you a type of Tibetan yoga, they call it, because one of the ways that we could do this is actually through movement. It's actually very strange looking, and you can't do it in a public place. I teach you the way that you can do it in a public place because you can take a tiny sip of air and move the energy of the breath through the body in a specific way that will help you stay calm and, pardon my French, hold your shit together while some situation's going down that's stressing you out. So that said, I'm just going to describe what we're doing. So we're going to be taking 2 breaths. The first breath that we take each time will be followed by a second sip of air that's topping it off. And this is a special way to help it connect with the vagus nerve. The Tibetans figured this out thousands of years ago. So the vagus nerve really helps keep us calm. It's our social connection, among other things. So when we take that breath in, and I will guide you through this so you don't have to keep, whenever I talk about that, you don't have to start taking a breath in until I say so. So we take that breath in, and the orange line is how it's going to travel through the body. So it's actually going to be through the central channel, which is an inch in front of the spine, and come down to 3 finger widths below the belly button. That's called, this part right here is called a junction. And we're going to start with the top, the crown chakra, and we're going to work our way down after we finish doing that one by one. And we only do these, these 5 are the top ones that we do with this version of they call it the secret salon. So I'll go ahead and have you take a deep breath in, bringing the breath and the energy down to the junction. And then while holding the breath, you bring the energy back here. And when you're ready to release, you imagine purple smoke going upwards. And some people will have that happen very quickly, and some people will be able to hold their breath longer. This practice will help you be able to start increasing how long you can hold your breath. And believe it or not, it is something that will help survival rates from COVID in terms of a study that they did. People who were able to hold their breath for longer tended to not have as severe a reaction to COVID. So I'm not a medical doctor. I'm just saying it makes sense to try and build that muscle at this point, right? So just breathing normally in between. And now we're gonna take another deep breath in sending it down that orange line to the junction, and this time holding the breath and sending the energy of the breath right here to the throat chakra. And when you're ready, 360 degrees all around blue smoke. And just relax, feeling that calmness. And when you're taking the second breath to top it off, it is up to you how you visualize that. When I first started doing this, when I would take a breath in, I could get about this far before I would have to imagine the second breath coming in and meeting it and the whole thing going down together. And now I can hold my breath long enough that I can get it all the way down here and then take a second breath and bring it all the way around here. So totally up to you and no judgment, because the idea is to not stress yourself. If you stress yourself while doing this, you are going counter to the benefits that you can get from it. So, just relaxing and taking a deep breath in and sending it all the way down to the junction. And again, that second breath coming in wherever you need. And then the energy of both comes to the heart chakra. And when you're ready to release, that's 360 degrees around, green smoke. And just relaxing. Alrighty. And now we're going to move on to the solar plexus chakra. Taking a deep breath in. And again, topping that off as you need with that second breath, bringing the energy down to the junction. Sending the energy while holding the breath to that yellow spot, that solar plexus chakra right around the stomach. And when you're ready, 360 degrees all around. And just relax. Feel that deepening ease in your body and mind. And the last chakra, the first chakra, we will send this energy down. So just an FYI, taking a deep breath in and topping it off when you're ready, bringing the energy of both breaths down to the junction and then focusing the energy only while holding the breath to the first chakra. And as you're ready, it all goes directed towards the earth. And you want to release your breath. Now, this is a really wonderful way to be a part of your day. It just takes 5 minutes, as you can see. But I was very resistant to doing this unless I was in a group. So it's wonderful if you want to practice it every day. And if you can't make yourself do it, don't worry. It may come with time, and it may just be something that you get so much benefit from in that, once a week coming here, that you don't need to worry about it. So now I'm going to read the goal. And for those of you who have been here before, you know that a goal, a conscious mind goal, is going to stress the parts of us that think that it's not allowed according to the rules of our childhood. So as I read the goal, those of you who are very in tune with your body might notice that you are starting to feel some tension here and there. And that is normal, and we'll get rid of the tension in the process of me doing the balance that comes after reading the goal. And there will also be some education before I get into doing the balance. But let's read that goal. The goal is, I am healed in body, speech, and mind. I am comfortable in my body. I allow my body and my mind to learn from and let go of old stress and trauma. I am allowed to feel calm. It is safe for me to feel calm and peaceful in my body. I sleep deeply through the night, knowing everything always turns out marvelously well. My negative core beliefs are healed. My relationships are easy and peaceful. I stay calm throughout my day, even when provoked. My higher power supports me fully in this. I deeply love all of my inner children who are stressed and traumatized and who keep me from feeling calm and peaceful. I invite them home to my heart. I am purposeful and prosperous. My resources are generous and I share them with others. My parents and siblings want this for me. My extended family and friends want this for me. Society wants this for me. So a lot of times we can get held back by our childhood selves that were wounded, believing that we don't deserve more. And it's keeping track of everything and it never sleeps. But it's trying to do this because it's trying to save our lives and make our lives easier and more pleasant. It doesn't realize the damage that it's doing to our forward progress. But it's also doing so much stuff to try and keep a continuous experience and allow us to survive. It allowed us to survive our childhood. And we need to learn how to reconnect to it, even when it feels incredibly unsafe to connect to it. So you could say these inner children are like buttons, like a button on the body. Somebody pushes here and I flip out over insecurity, or somebody pushes here and I flip out over a particular event that happened to me that seems similar to what is coming up again. Our childhood created these things, and yes, it's our reaction, it's our karma, it's our pattern, all that kind of stuff contributed to it. But we deserve to grow up in a childhood where with parents who are able to be there for us, meet our needs, not expect us to take care of them emotionally. And when we miss out on that, it creates these wounds. We are more productive in life if we are positive and try to connect in with these parts of us that are wounded so that we can become united instead of divided. And while some of us might struggle with feelings of lack of self-worth, or perhaps having done things that we regret deeply, and how can we ever forgive ourselves, guilt and remorse and that kind of thing. But I can tell you, to the extent that I've had some experience with that in my life of regrets, that if I focus on the regrets and the lack of worthiness, that it's wounding to the inner children and keeps them divided, makes them continue in their automatic patterns in a downward spiral. And instead, if I can say, no, little ones, we can't do it this way anymore. I love you, and be that good parent that they should have had, that I can then gain their trust and start to integrate them. There's really a never-ending supply of inner children between this lifetime and any other lifetime, if you believe in multiple lifetimes. So it's not like we can go back to square one and fix everything. But as we do this work, it gets so much lighter and better. And in letting the subconscious learn emotions, we are giving it its learning. So basically, whatever your grade level that you attained, I had a master's degree. Or I should say, I have a master's degree. Uh, I was, I don't even think that I had gotten to like middle school level of emotional learning, like the nuances of emotional learning, until I started doing this kind of work. So just know that this is the way that this child mind works, the subconscious works, and you have stumbled across it at exactly the right time, in exactly the right way in your lives to start connecting and growing, or continuing to connect and grow. It's important to realize that when we give it what that it wants to learn emotionally, that it allows itself to be rewired. And um, it's important to give your child mind a positive destination. Most of the time when things happen to us, the standard thing is for people who've been through a lot of trauma to say, oh my gosh, I'm sick, or I had a car accident, how am I going to pay for this? Um, how sick am I going to get? Um, I lost my job, but will I ever find another one? Oh my God, haha, it's so difficult, it's so hard to find a job, it's so much energy. All of those things are scaring the heck out of your inner children. I think of them as a 4-year-old on a good day and a 3-year-old having a tantrum on a bad day. And if I were to tell my inner 3-year-old, hey, you've got cancer, I don't know if you're going to make it, I think that I would be um, rightfully thought of as that it was child abuse. You have to hold space for these little ones within us to give them hope and positivity. So I use the phrase, everything always turns out marvelously well. And something that feels good for you that way is something that anytime you start to feel afraid, you practice either saying that, or if you really can't get that positive because it just feels like, oh, here we go again, crap's hitting the fan, I know how this is going to turn out. Practice not knowing. And when you practice not knowing, you'll see things shifting faster than you ever thought they could, and that the outcome is not what you thought it was going to be. It's part of calling in better and better things for ourselves. So just trust that things will start to spiral upwards as you practice this. So now I'm going to go ahead and go into the emotional work and just test to see what we need to do and what emotions are coming up. Okay. I will have to look this up later. It's a new emotion. So when I post this video, I will tell you what it is. I will tell you it's an ancestral feeling. That's the category. So emotions are, for some of us, like me, I was terrified of feelings. And but once I realized that if I felt something, if I tried to feel something, that it would allow the body to process and release something that it was holding, that it could learn something, that gave me incentive. And especially because I'm holding points right now as we start this, it's like holding back the floodgates so you can't get washed away. Most of us just experience emotion, we try to shut it down, and occasionally we can't, and it's like a tsunami coming and dragging us out to sea. But this is an opportunity to feel stuff that would be too scary to feel on your own and let your body learn. And so it doesn't have to keep bringing it in to your life to try and learn emotionally. It's got a list, a bucket list that it has to learn to try and um, learn, because we're a social species. We absolutely have to learn these feelings. And also, it's, I believe, is our soul work as well. So follow along and connect into your body. Notice anything that happens within from your head to your toe. And for those of you who can't feel anything, don't worry, you're just being curious. You give your body permission to send you one drop or however many drops you're willing to try to feel. For those of you who want to just do a spring cleaning, just give your body permission to send you everything. And if it feels uncomfortable in your body, if that sensation's unpleasant, just send it love. That helps. It's like the spoonful of sugar to make the medicine go down. Yeah, that was really intense. That's actually the emotion of um, feeling pierced. So sending ourselves love. Wow, you did this for yourself. This is good for you, right? And here's another emotion. Looking that one up. And this is the soul emotion. Um, and this is unseasoned again. So sending that love. Since this is a beginning program, this comes up a lot with people, feeling like we're wading into uncharted territory, and um, are we up for it? Are we capable of it? And just know that you're here because you are, and it can feel a bit overwhelming, but just sending yourself love and thanking yourself for taking the time and trusting that you're being guided to be doing this kind of work for yourself. So, again, giving your body permission, saying something like, "Dear body, I give you permission to send me a drop of this feeling, a feeling unseasoned or like a newbie." And then just notice from head to toe any sensations that come up. It might be hot or cold, numbness, tingling, pressure, ease, movement, discomfort. All of that is normal. Sometimes we've tied ourselves in knots so tight that what happens is our fascia, when we feel the feeling, can start to shift and unravel those knots, remove some of that dense fascia, and reshape itself into something healthier. And that can make the nerves start to squawk, and that's normal. Once they are accustomed to their newfound freedom, they will be super stoked. Nothing like having happy nerves. Alrighty, taking a deep breath in and letting that go. Okay, so that's it for the feelings. Moving on, we're going to reset some chakras. Okay, so it's chakra 8.9, so about an inch and a half from the top of your head. Some people notice color, other people notice sensation, and lots of people notice nothing. But this is about resetting that chakra, asking for universal energy to be able to reset each of our chakras at that point. And I reset the chakras because part of the genius of the child mind is that when we set a goal, initially it's going to resist it and it's going to stop the flow of energy to us in order to resist having the drive and the energy to attract that for us. And now that we've given it the feelings that it wanted to learn, it's willing to say, okay, we can reset that chakra. Great. Um, okay, so now we're going to integrate inner children. And some of you might not be ready for this yet, so give yourself some grace if you're not. Just notice if it feels safe for you, and if not, then imagine yourself in a beautiful, safe place rather than continuing with this exercise. And just know that eventually you'll be able to participate. It's just developing that relationship to your inner children that's positive. That because partly it's, do you feel safe and loving enough to have them come home to your heart? And it's also, do they feel safe and comfortable enough to come home to your heart? So it's a two-way street. And I've actually had plenty of clients who felt that in some way their inner children were not worthy, were terrible. And as you can imagine, would you be attracting your inner children to come home to your heart at that point? No. It's you have to realize that the reason why you have those reactions to those inner children, if they're negative, is because you were programmed to. That was a setup. That was part of the childhood trauma. And as the parent, it's about realizing that children make bad choices every day. And it's the parents who guide them back, right? Who guide them back into being happy, of sound mind and body, part of growing towards the becoming the most that they can be, both for themselves and for society, right? So it's about truly, truly trusting that you are on the path to be able to do this for yourself and grow. And it unfolds when it unfolds. And this is a judgment-free zone. Everybody gets there at a new and deeper level every time you do this exercise. So if you also, for some of you, it will take more time because some of them may not be willing to come home to your heart. Teenage inner children can really be embarrassed to be seen with us and they want nothing to do with us. And so trying to coax a teenager can take a little time. If that comes up, please go to my YouTube channel and click on my 4th oldest group stress video. It's 49 minutes and 55 seconds long to make sure you're looking at the right one. And at minute 35 and 21 seconds, you'll find a better overview and a slower run through. All right. So let's go ahead and begin. Just get comfortable, close your eyes, and imagine yourself in a beautiful, safe place and able to see these inner children. There are 5,000 of them. And they range in age from just being born to your current age. Imagine the older ones taking care of the younger ones and just really enjoying the safe place. And tell them as you walk up to them, hello, just a simple hello. Tell them, I'm so sorry. I didn't know you were here all alone. I came as soon as I heard. I'm you, all grown up. We've survived and we've thrived. Your home is in my heart. Come home to my heart. And show them pictures of you from when you were born to the present day. Now ask them if they're willing to come home to your heart. And for those who have willing participants, inner child participants, let's go ahead and proceed. Tell them that they can shrink down, become points of light, and from their position in your body, they can start to head home to your heart. And as you feel into your body, you might have a sense of shimmering or vibration in your body, and that is your fascial train activating to let these little ones begin to move home to your heart, the home of all integrated experience. And don't worry, even if you can't feel them moving or the vibration, it still works. And as they begin, some of you will be able, as they begin to enter the walls of your heart, you might be able to actually feel that. And just sending that love, sending them love, knowing that you've done this much more to heal yourself. These little ones only get triggered when they are lodged in the body. Once they come home and you have an integrated experience, then they don't ever feel alone. They are part of your heart memories. So take a deep breath in. And when you breathe out, send out a buttery yellow light of self-compassion to every cell in your body. And when you're ready, take another deep breath in. And when you breathe out, send love and gratitude to every layer of you that's cooperated here today. Great. So let's see. I will just say that the other thing I wanted to say is about an upper limit problem. Our subconscious, the child mind, is trying to stay within a limit of what's allowed. It doesn't want us to get too big for our britches because it knows that we've been probably shamed or humiliated for trying that before. And it usually doesn't want to go below a certain level as well. And so it's trying to keep us in that state. We know, so it's operating on, I've experienced this before, and therefore it's safe because I survived it the first time. Now, you and I know we might have been lucky to survive our childhood. And if we continue the same level of stress from our childhood, it will burn out our adrenal system, and we don't want that for ourselves. So we want to be able to rest and digest our food properly so that we have a storehouse of nutrients when we need them. So this also gives us incentive to try to learn how to connect in with our inner children and know that if you find yourself in an old pattern, things are feeling familiar and they're heading in a negative way, that we can say to ourselves, oh, I see you. upper limit problem, we're not doing that this way anymore. I'm not going to overreact when somebody doesn't put their socks away or whatever it is. It's usually something that it's safer to be angry in a certain way than it is to really address the bigger things in our lives that often set us off. So, however we're painting ourselves, whether we're a victim or anything that starts to help us empower ourselves. Alrighty, so now moving on to removing negative energies. I'll get a little quiet as I do this. So just sitting comfortably while I do this. Alrighty, so that's good. And then lastly, gratitude. Gratitude to yourself for showing up, sending your body, physical body, energy body, the entirety of your being, gratitude for showing up today. And to your child mind for working with you, to your higher power for always being there for you. Gratitude confirms that you like the direction you're going in. So I encourage you to connect with that every day. Alrighty, so I believe that, actually there is something for those of you who are interested in learning how to do some of the emotional work yourself. I do teach it, but you can learn on your own by going to my Instagram channel and looking for these photos. They're back probably a year or two. There's about 30 of them, and they teach you how to get rid of anxiety. And again, remembering that it's a tool, it's something for your body to learn. It will keep sending you anxiety until it learns it. And once it learns it, it goes, oh, this really feels terrible. But until it learns it, it's like, no, I need more. I need more. Maybe this time she'll let me learn. So the left hand goes up here, like so, all five in a circle, like so. And then the right hand will go either to your right side or to your left side. First, it'll start off, just start getting intuitive, right? Start setting the attention that you can connect in with your body's needs, and just maybe one side will feel a little tighter than the other. So start there. And then 90 seconds of just giving your body permission to send you the sensation. Alrighty. So that is there on my Instagram, and it's also in the book if you prefer a physical copy. I'm certainly more of a please give me a physical copy of my book. And let's go ahead and then we can go ahead and if anybody wants to ask questions or make comments about how it helped, I'd love to hear from you.
Wow, that was amazing.
Well, good. Thank you, Natalie. I'm glad you liked it.
Yeah, I didn't have a sense of what was happening, but I've been very sick for 3 weeks. And I can't tell you the timing was perfect.
Oh, good. Well, it's
Mm,
every week at 10, so
wow.
do join. Lovely having you here. Anyone else who wanted to say something or have any questions?
Hey Liz, thank you so much. I'm just out at the ocean and that was amazing. I was wondering if we could have when you talk to the inner children and say that you're safe and you can come out now, is that available that we could, I don't know, I could put it in the chat or email the group? It's
I
so
would have
soothing.
to, yeah, I would have to email it, or actually do I
Okay.
have,
When you say
I
yeah, it's
actually, I
okay to
actually, I
come out
just, I
now.
just know it, so I'd have to write it up. But yeah, I could do that for you
Oh, you
guys.
actually just recite it, but wrote and you memorized it? That's amazing.
Well, it's something that I learned along the way from someone else, and yeah, I
Nice,
have it memorized. Yeah, but
nice. And I wanted to welcome, oh, sorry, go ahead.
no, uh, nothing else.
Oh, I think my friend Elisa was on. I think she just left, but I just wanted to welcome her
Great.
and say hi to everybody. Yeah.
Yeah, so I think we have in the chat that if this has been helpful and you're the kind of love the technology and want to write a review, I would love it if you'd do that. And anytime, do appreciate that. Help me get the word out. What else? Um, mm, mm, mm. Oh, I plan, if you know anybody who's got cancer who would be into this kind of work, I am going to be doing a group for cancer survivors starting at 8 o'clock. I just need to get some regular people, regular attendees to have a group that I'm working with. And so that'll be 8 o'clock on Wednesdays, and then 9 o'clock will be a paid group in between for people who have a need to go deeper about a specific goal. It'll be something that we work on for 6 weeks, and we just see in that same way when you come to the stress relief how every week you're able to go deeper and deeper, and there's always something new coming up. Um, to have a goal that you're working towards and to have 6 weeks of the body being more and more supported in allowing that goal, you'll see a shift as well. Let's see. I think that's all that I've got for today, unless anybody else has anything that they wanted to add. I do see um, there was something that I wrote down that I wanted to share. I figured I was the problem. I felt like a loser. I thought I deserved what was happening to me. I thought I was lazy and unmotivated. These are all upper limit problems in action. So we get sent the feeling by the child mind as so this is an automatic pattern that's generating the feelings and the thoughts. It's trying to protect us from re-experiencing the childhood events, and because they were traumatic, it's like trying anything to keep us from trying hard because we've been wounded in the past from trying hard. So either we were told we were some of these things, or someone reflected that they thought of us that way. And the pain of it has our child mind recreating the thought long after the toxic person is gone. And even loving parents can sometimes be toxic. They have toxic moments that can stay with us forever. I had a lovely mom, and I remember something that she said to me when I was in college, and I was crushed about, leave it to me to always figure out how to pull defeat from the jaws of victory. I was, poised to get an A in a math class and a calculus class, and I managed to get a B plus, and oh, it hurt. And you can imagine how much more it would have hurt if she had said something to me like that in first grade, infinitesimally more. So sending that, when you catch yourself in those kind of thoughts, sending it love, saying, I see you, upper limit problem, is creating the upward spiral towards a higher vibration. And figure out your triggers. As a people pleaser, I was triggered every time I tried to even consider my needs, let alone meet them. Needs? Did I even have any? I wasn't allowed to even connect with that. I was totally blind to them. Women in general, and especially we codependent types, are taught to deny them to make society work. So anytime we try to do something for ourselves, we're going to be triggering those upper limit thoughts that I just said. And others, you know, we've all got our lovely little upper limit thoughts, right? So anyway, I wish you a lovely, lovely week, and I'm so grateful that you show up every week. Yeah.
I was just going to add, just encouraging. I got a call actually from someone in my inner group that we all support each other, another woman, and I was able to use some of the dialogue, like some of the verbiage, I guess is a better word, that you use. And she had, we had been on a 12-step meeting earlier this morning, and a woman was on there. They both live in New York City and knew each other. She's in her late 60s. It's the woman that was on the meeting. They've known each other since they were 17. They went to high school together. And she called me and just said, I knew when I saw her name, I was like, oh, something must be wrong. But what she said was, oh, I was so traumatized today by seeing this woman, and it reminded me of this and that from when I was a child in high school. And I said, well, I don't know if you've ever done inner child work, but I think what you're describing is that the 17-year-old you was traumatized, and that put an imprint in your body, and it creates you know, like Eckhart Tolle talks about the pain body, it creates a space in us. And I think when you say traumatized, that maybe your inner child at that age woke up and was angry, and those feelings came back. So I would encourage you to feel the feelings, the anger, and recognize that inner child. And perhaps you could even soothe that inner child as a loving parent and say, it's okay now, you can come out, you can be angry. There were some sexuality issues too, of coming out, being gay, being bisexual for this particular person at that age. And she had never really been in touch with it. And so it was cool to be able to, instead of saying like, oh, you're fine, you're okay, like get over it kind of a thing, it was like, no, let's feel it, let's dig in. And it was really like a beautiful moment. And it's someone that that I really respect and revere. And for her to call me and for me to be able to really listen, and then also be able to target what she was feeling, because she was like, oh my God, you're right, that's what it is. That's when I was trying to come out, and I didn't know much if I liked men or women, and I didn't understand what my body was feeling and who I was supposed to love, and all this emotion came out. And it was cool to, I don't know, be a conduit. I think you've really helped me just be able to channel some of these skills in a very loving, kind way with this inner children work especially, and just letting my children know that it's okay. Because I feel like there's a defiant teenager that comes out. I feel like there's a 4-year-old that comes out sometimes that's scared. Yeah. And at first I thought, this is kind of just inner children. Like, it just sounds weird, but I'm starting to just not let myself get caught up in whatever it's called or the label, and just understand that there are parts of me from when I was younger that need attention.
Yeah.
That need to be soothed. And that's it. It's just pretty simple, just to have a feeling come up and go, oh no, it's okay. Well, I'm right here. It's okay now. I'm so sorry that I didn't see you before, but now we're all grown up. I'm you all grown up, and we're safe. And we have tools now, and we don't have to just be terrified and do these maladaptive behaviors, because I can act out. I can act out in ways that I think anyone would classify as self-harm. I mean, I don't like cut myself. Sometimes I thought that was the only definition of self-harm. I can do a lot of other things that are self-harm. And you've really helped me just recognize that I don't need to do that. I can stop in the moment and go, oh, no. We're not doing that today.
Good.
We're going to stay on task. We're not going to procrastinate. We're going to take care of our body. Like you said, nutrition. We're going to eat good, healthy food. We're going to get our rest and be adults.
Yeah. Okay.
So thank you.
You're welcome. I'm gonna just
Yep.
interject to say,
Yep.
yes, spread this. You'll find that people will be coming to you because you are becoming a conduit. You're raising your vibration. People can sense that something's working better in you as a result of doing this work. And you're going to just be that light that people come to. So keep it up. Awesome work. And I do see also Natalie has her hand raised. Did you want to say something?
I just realized hearing this other comment that while this was happening, I realized that I don't have to seek too hard to heal a child because I have a child that's 14 next to me all the time. And,
Mm-hmm.
she says things like, Mom, thank you for cleaning up the dishes. You know, like that's not normal for a 14-year-old to do that. And there's just an understanding that she has. And like you said, even well-meaning parents can become very toxic because we still have our stuff. So when you were tapping into some ancestral stuff, I was like, oh my gosh, how is she hearing that, And what I was feeling was more in the fear areas, fear, terror, those kinds of things. So
Mm-hmm.
when you said piercing, I was like, whoa. But um, I just want to take away and share that I get to do this now for her and continue to just own all of my little things because she's already one of these kids that feels things.
Mm-hmm.
We were with somebody yesterday and she got in the car. She said, Mommy, I have a worried feeling for
Mm-hmm.
Morgan. And then the colleague texts me, we've been in the hospital since 2 a.m. She's got 16 weeks of twins from in vitro. And so the twins are so far they're still okay, but it was very scary last night. And
Yeah.
my kid got in the car and felt that. And so
Yeah. She's a
I would
total
never want
empath.
to say, oh my gosh.
Mm-hmm.
And so I just want to never make her feel like there's something wrong with her,
Mm-hmm.
you know.
And so when when we're saying it that way, just as a as an FYI, our child mind thinks in the positive. So we want to always say it as I always want um, to make help her feel in the positive way. Um,
Okay. Yeah.
yeah. So
Otherwise
just
it just picks up the message, the wording.
the
Okay.
worry, yeah. So um, everything always turns out marvelously well. I always find the rose in the lessons of life and provide that for my daughter's growth and healing. And when you started talking about your daughter, I just got goosebumps. The thought of what what humanity can become when guided by a, a, a loving parent who understands. I mean, I think all of us want better for our children. Probably, at least 99% of us want better for our children. We have no freaking clue how to do it, but this is the way. You know, having them to to feel safe to be able to tell you the sensations that they notice in their body. You know, just
Well, I can tell
total
you,
mind blown. Awesome. You're doing
I
good,
can tell you
mama.
that her desire is very simple. She just wants all the adults around her to be good. And then she can have some peace and safety to feel what she feels.
Yeah.
If she starts to see them like they're not well, she doesn't feel she's allowed to dive into her own stuff. And
Mhm.
she sees teachers that way.
Oh,
Oh,
they're
she
so
does have kids
stressed.
of her own and, like all that stuff.
But also tenure. I mean, my children, they're 24 now. I have twins, but I remember them coming back in the day with their stomach in knots about how they had to do well on the state testing. And I said to them, "Why
Yeah.
are you so stressed out about it? You guys are really good at tests." And they're like, "The teacher's just so worried," and was just like saying all this stuff. And I was like, "Sweetie pie, you want to do your best because you love your teacher and you it's good to do well in tests in general, but it's not your responsibility to get the A for the teacher. You know, she's done her part, you do your part in a loving way, and just, you know, please let go of the stress. Please just, you know, take a deep breath in and just let that slide off your shoulders. Just by showing up and trying to do well, that's your job. That's all. So every day there's kids that are just taking on way too much. Yeah. Alrighty. Alrighty, my loves. Well, have a great week, and I hope to see you next week. I will be putting this on uh, the YouTube channel, which is youtube.com/@rightbrainuniversity. I neglected to put up last week's, so because I was traveling. But just remember, you're having a crappy day. You can watch a whole thing, or even the first 15 minutes will help to reset your stress levels. Those initial 3 things can really help reset your day. So have a great week, and thank you so much for tuning in. Love you all.
Thank you. Thanks for your gift.
My pleasure. Bye.